Joining me now is Paolo von Schirach. He is the president of the Global Policy Institute, a public policy research institution. First, I want to ask you about this Trump tweet from earlier today, talking about positive news regarding China and trade. What is your best guess on what that could be about?
Well, of course, we know not much. We know what transpired in Buenos Aires, which is kind of this ceasefire, so to speak, truce between the two presidents who met on the sidelines of the G20 meeting, and that's obviously positive news. Now, whether or not it will be possible to examine and resolve all or most of the outstanding issues between now and a rather tight deadline, at the beginning of next year, we don't know. If Trump says brace for good news, well, maybe we should. But he's prone, to say these things, and they don't necessarily happen, especially not in the timeline that people would expect. But the fact that the two sides are talking, obviously this is very good. There was quite a long time in the beginning of this tit for tat in which they were really not talking productively, at least. Well, so this is good.
Some people have been lumping in what is happening with the trade war to what is happening in Canada as we speak in Vancouver. How do you read into that? I mean, how much does one affect the other, if at all?
A lot, at least in terms of atmospherics, and here, of course, we get into a larger issue if we really want to be in conspiracy theories. Of course, we've got the bilateral negotiations, government to government, etc. But then there's this larger concern, paranoid concern, if you wish, an exaggerated concern about the untoward role of Chinese companies in the global economy and what they do. And Huawei has been, fingered as a company that somehow, yes, it's a huge business. Everybody knows that. Second manufacturer of telecom equipment, of handsets in the world, largest telecom manufacturer. So it's a big Chinese company with a large footprint everywhere.
And depending on what this judge decides, whether it's today, tomorrow, as this has been playing out, regardless of what he decides, how will that impact the trade war? And then bringing Canada into this as well.
Absolutely. It will. There's no way, if the lady is released and sent back home, well, then kind of it's over. But if this doesn't end here, if there is a prosecution, if there is an extradition process and all that, well, then that may, affect, I think, the larger climate. This is too big of a player, and she's too big of a person within that company, the daughter of the founder, to be sort of, oh, this is just something that happened on the sides. Don't pay no attention to that. Of course, and now that this former diplomat has been detained, who knows? That's obviously some leverage that China is taking vis-a-vis Canada. But again, the real deal is going to be, is she going to be released on bail, yes or no? Is she going to be charged of something? And will there be an extradition process going forward?
That being said, is there a chance that the United States does not pursue extradition? I mean, is that something that they are weighing at the moment?
I suppose it's at the discretion of the United States. Is this part of some kind of a Machiavellian ploy to gain more leverage with China? I have no idea, obviously, but all bets are off here, and the timing is certainly very odd.
Is it curious that this bail hearing has been lasting? I've never heard of a bail hearing lasting for more than a day, much less we're now on day 3.
I'm not quite sure about Canadian procedure, criminal or judicial proceedings anyway. It seems like the judge wants to be thorough. That's the impression one gets. And all these offers, as indicated, of houses or other type of guarantees that the family, the friends are willing to give, doesn't seem to sway him that much at the moment. And obviously, this is, the symbolism of this person being in jail is very significant.
Paolo von Schirach, always great to have you on. Thank you for joining us.